Hi, fourth graders. Welcome to Egg Central, where we are going to do an experiment. We're going to do a couple things today. We are going to look at the inside of an egg, and we're going to start talking about the vocabulary of what you can actually find on an egg. And we are going to see the difference between a fertilized egg and an egg you buy at the grocery store. So, up first, we are going to do we're going to look at a fertilized egg versus an unfertilized egg. So, what we have here is this is an egg that was bought at the store. So we're just going to crack it and then we'll take a closer look at it. And we notice that shell. Put that off to the side. I'm going to get my video. And I'm going to show you some things. So we have our yolk right there. You can kind of see the extra white stuff that is part of the albumin. All the white stuff is the albumin. And if you move it around, I think you see this too. There's a thicker part of the white stuff. That's the thick albumin. And then there's a thinner part that moves around very easily. That's the thin albumin. And this white part right there, that's the chalaza. That's the string that is holding everything together. So now I'm going to show you, hopefully, an unfertilized egg. A fertilized egg. These are farm fresh eggs, and we are going to see what it's like inside of one of these eggs. So let's put the camera down for 1 second. And we're going to take one of these guys. It's quite a big egg. And we are going to crack it, again, into the cup. All right, so let's see, can you tell a difference between this egg and this egg? It looks it has a little bit more of that white stuff right there, but this actually isn't exactly what I'm looking for. So, stay tuned. Egg number 2 looks exactly like that egg and that egg. We'll try again. Hey friends, on the last egg, we finally found one. Look. There is the germinated disc. Trying to hold real still. Try and get a picture. So, right there, that circle. Right there. Oop, that's a little too close. Right there. That is our germinated disc. That means that if we had put this in the incubator, it possibly could have started growing. We could have hatched it. So, very exciting times. Full experiment coming up next. All right, guys, so now we're to the point of the egg experiment where you need to go grab your boiled egg if you have one. If you don't, you can always pause this video and go make a boiled egg. Ask your mom first. But we're gonna start looking at our boiled egg. The first thing you notice is the shell. What do you think the shell does? It's hard. And if it moves around, it's not breaking. That's for, think about it, protection. That's right. So we're also gonna look at our egg and we're gonna try and determine which side is the smaller side. And it looks like this is the smaller side and this side is wide. Eggs are never gonna be a perfect oval. You're always gonna have a bigger side and a smaller side. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go in and tap the bigger side because there's something on the big side that I want you to see. So we're just gonna real quick Easy. Tap. And this is exactly what I want you to see. Do you see how this kind of pushes in? And it's almost like there's nothing underneath there. Look at that. Just go straight in. Let's try it on the other side. So on the other side, oh, if you're wondering why there's a B on it, that's a B for boiled, so I can tell the difference. Oh, hold on. This egg is doing a very good job of protecting what's inside. And the reason why it's harder on that side is there's actually something right underneath. So we're gonna open this side up, we're gonna open the wider side, and look at what's in there. Can you see the gap? Do you see how there's space in there? That is where the air cell is. And that space has always had a pocket of air in it. That is for when the chick gets close to hatching, it will actually peep through using its beak. It will peep through and it'll start breathing, which means before the eggs hatch, you can hear them peeping. They go chirp, 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 chirp. It's the sweetest little sound. So we have the air cell, and there's also something. You guys seeing that white thin stuff? It's kind of like a skin around it. Have you ever peeled an egg and all of a sudden you're peeling off a white part or a clear part? That is actually a membrane. And what the membrane does, it's almost like a plastic baggie for the egg, and it holds everything together. So let's get inside the egg. So we're just gonna give this a quick peel. You guys can peel yours any way you want. If it doesn't peel perfectly, that's okay. Let's start by looking. Do you guys have any guesses what all this white stuff is? It's not just called the white part of an egg. It's actually called the albumin. And we learned that the albumin comes in a thick part and a thin part. But guess what? When it's boiled, it's heated up, it is a chemical reaction, and it changes, and it's all white. So we actually can't tell the difference between the thin albumin and the thick albumin once the egg is cooked. So let's start to slice in. And that yellow part, we all know what the yellow part is called. It's called the yolk. But what does each of these parts do? The yolk is full of protein. So this is going to be the baby chick's main source of food as it grows and develops. We saw the germinated disc right on the yolk. That's so it has everything it needs right here. And believe it or not, this albumin, when it is liquid, it actually protects the yolk and protects the baby chick by creating almost a cushion of water. And no matter what happens on the outside, that chicken inside this center part is gonna stay. So we pop the yolk out. We can't see it anymore, but there's actually a thin membrane around the yolk as well. It's why, if you think back, when we crack the egg, the yolk doesn't immediately go out and spread into the albumin. It's why it stays by itself. So we can see the albumin and the yolk. And that's all for our egg experiment. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.